next, verse 2:8. And then the lawless one will be revealed, whom the Lord will consume with the breath of his mouth and destroy with the brightness of his coming. And then, in Greek, it is ke tote. It is correctly translated, and then. Sometimes translators incorrectly translate something. Ke tote means and then. So here we have a clear sequence of events. The restrainer, meaning the Holy Spirit, and thus the body of believers, whom the Holy Spirit is sealed, will be taken out of the way. 2, and then the lawless one will be revealed, which will be in conjunction with 3, the tribulation period, which is the day of Christ, the day of the Lord. The timeline is set. People didn't listen the first time. Paul re-explained it in the second letter, and people are still not listening today. One thing about this church is that since the advent of the internet, everybody is a specialist in theology. Nobody knows the Bible. They've probably never read it through once, but they know a few verses, and they're specialists in theology. It is heartbreaking to see how much this has gone on in the church lately. People are unwilling to get properly trained. They go off on these tangents and they mandate that everybody listen to them or they're going to burn in the flames of hell, like True News says. What a form of bondage. What a way to convince people that you need to donate to him and nobody else. That is absolutely insane. All right, here we go. The timeline is set. There is no reason at all to debate who the Antichrist is. And there is no need to wonder if Christians will have to endure some mid-trib or all post-trib of the tribulation period. Paul is the one who defines these things. Going to the words of Jesus in the Synoptic Gospels, I said I was going to get to this, to determine the timing of these events is inappropriate. If you don't know what synoptic means, it means Matthew, Mark, and Luke. They match each other. John is completely different. It's written for a different purpose, and believe it or not, to a different group of people. The 3 synoptic gospels are written about Jesus fulfilling the law to the nation of Israel. The church is never mentioned in Matthew, Mark, or Luke until after the resurrection. And even then, Acts 1 shows us that the disciples didn't get it. And until you get to Acts chapter 10, they still didn't get it. In Acts chapter 11, they had to have it re-explained to them. And then we come to Acts chapter 13. Paul takes over, and the church age begins in its fullest sense. He is the apostle to the Gentiles. The Jews are a minority. They're a remnant of believers. They are out. They were destroyed in exile, and here comes the Gentile-led church age. This is what's going on here, okay? So, we don't go to the Synoptic Gospels. It is not appropriate because Jesus is not speaking to the church about these things. He is speaking to Israel about things which will affect them, including the tribulation period.